YouTube, Twitch, welcome back into some more Minecraft action. YouTube, I'm just going to forewarn you right now, things aren't quite the same state as they were last time. I did do a stream on camera this time, but I decided not to upload it to YouTube because it's literally 3 hours of me just crashing out before the inevitable I do 100% just crash out. So let me go through the old memory lane trip and basically what caused me to just mentally completely boom. So you may remember, YouTube, from your last episode, so not the same as Twitch is, that I was building the kelp farm in the factory, because what I need to do now is get my smelting setup, really automated, or at least more high throughput than what I've got right now, because I need to make the stone bricks to build the factory, to put the machines in. Currently, I've half built a bit of the factory, and then I started putting the machines in a bit early, because I really need to sort out this smelting setup, so... we built this kelp farm last time, which was, fine, it was nice, and we can get kelp from this as an automated fashion, and then we eventually craft that into dried kelp, and that will, run the furnaces. And everything is lovely here. I still not quite cycled this back into the machine again, by the way, so I still have to manually grab some dried kelp from here to put it into here to make sure the machine still works. For now, because we're just going to be stood here the entire time, I'm going to throw it all into here just to, keep this going, and hopefully we'll get a bit of a backlog of dried kelp in here. And in the future, this will lead down into a smelting setup, which is going to be underneath. Now, here's where my problem came. After leaving this and looking at this for some time, I was like, it's nice, it's producing kelp and all, but it's not producing it at a rapid rate. Let's put it that way. Also, probably not enough to, keep up with the demands of a smelting setup as well. So then I got looking into it, and I was thinking, what if... And let me just go on top of my machine, so I'm trying to explain this. What if instead of the setup I've got right now, where, I've got we've got the observer, we've got a block, the copper block, the piston, and the observer. What if I replace this copper block with a dispenser with bone meal in it? And I just bone meal the kelp. Would that not be way, way more efficient? And that's kind of what I came at. I might even be able to take this entire massive machine, which by the way I will keep in, and maybe just reduce it down to a one block setup where, constantly bone meal's being fed in, it constantly grows up one, knocks it off, goes into this, and rather than getting what I'm getting right now, maybe it's 17 kelp per piston push every X amount of time, once every tick or so, I'll get some kelp, and that might be actually quicker than what I'm doing right now in this machine. So that's my theory. So I looked up for automated bone meal farms. And actually, interestingly, there are some that exist. And I think I said 2 or 3 episodes ago, I really hated these composters because you couldn't pipe into them and pipe out of them. Turns out I'm a dirty stinking liar. I don't know if this was something that was changed after the composter was added into the game. Well, you can. You can actually pipe into them, so you can do bone meal farms via that means. Now, the thing that caused me first to crash out, and this was actually the previous stream, which again, you're not going to see YouTube, is that the way that I saw someone doing the optimal version of the bone meal farm, at least I think on Java, was they were using a kelp farm to, feed the bone meal farm. So kelp would go into the composter, turn it into bone meal, and you pipe the bone meal out. And the way they were doing this kelp farm was, it was literally a block of sand with the kelp growing in it, and then below that was a sticky piston with sand every tick pushing backwards and forwards. And for whatever reason, in Minecraft, some weird Minecraft bizarro spaghetti behind the scenes, that causes kelp to grow every single tick. So basically every single tick they were getting a kelp, and they were then putting that into the compost to get bone meal. It was producing ungodly amounts of bone meal, especially since you could do this in parallel. And this tilted me to unreal levels. And I was I've been talking about this in the last stream. There is some sort of line, and I don't know really where to put this, but there is a line of jank in this game that I don't want to cross because I don't like it. A bit like nether pearling on top of the nether ceiling and then building stuff on the nether ceiling, spawner platforms, because there's nothing else to spawn off onto there, so you can build piglin farms up there that are super, super duper efficient. But for me, I don't think it's in keeping within the game mechanics to spawning yourself on top of the nether. I think it's really nerdy shit and I don't like it. At least with this setup, I'm using observers as they're intended. I'm using kelp as it's intended. I'm using the pushers. What are they called? Pistons. I'm using pistons as intended. I feel like this is all being used as intended. And I think this looks way more impressive than some sort of nerdy you know, cheat block, effectively, where it's just producing kelp at an alarming rate. But again, if it weren't for the fact it was kelp that they were using, I think maybe I would have grounded myself, but the fact that they were powering a machine that I was going to use to power a machine was something that was just a glitched out machine, which was better than my machine, tilted me. So I thought, okay, I'm not using this. I'm going to do something instead, which was like the second choice of the bone meal farms, which in my opinion was a little bit more, like, fair, I guess is the way I'm going to call this. And I decided instead to try and make a moss-based farm. So the one thing, like, the two things you've missed from the stream that you're not going to see YouTube is me building this monstrosity, which doesn't work, but I'll talk to you about it in a second. And also, I went and got a moss block from the lush cave. I literally ran there, picked one up, and then came back again. So that's all you've missed, which is basically nothing. Anyway, the whole point of this setup is that in these blocks here, which currently I've, like, turned off because it was just bare lava in here, there are pistons with a water source in between, and the top of the water source is blocked by a block. Then on the other side, I had a similar deal, where we have some water. Does this? Okay, this is fine. Yeah, we have another water thing that comes out here from the original water source, and if you put lava on, I think it's... Wait, I'm sure I've done something wrong here. It doesn't matter, so I'm going to take this apart. But basically, you can put lava on top of this, and because the actual source water block is blocked by this block, it turns these into cobblestone. And actually, by cobblestone, I mean actual stone, because they need to be stone. And basically, it's like a stone/cobble generator. Ideally, I want it to be a stone generator. And then you push these pistons, which knock the stone out. The water flows back in, and the lava hits it again and creates stone. And basically pushes a stone platform this way. The reason I want to do that is that if you bone meal a moss block, it turns all stone adjacent into like the lush cave type thing. It turns into like moss blocks, it turns into carpet and that type of thing. And then the idea is that you wash this away, and also if you keep pushing this, the moss blocks will break. It can't push all the way out because there's a line of obsidian here, by the way. Anyway, so you get the moss blocks getting pushed out by the breaking of them with the stone pushing through it. The carpet gets washed away because these dispensers have water buckets in them. All gets washed away down here, goes into this like little item like funnel, into the hoppers, into a composter, and then compost. That's the whole plan of the machine. However, for 3 hours I spent trying to put this together, and I didn't want to follow a guide because I was like, you know what? Following guides is like kind of, not boring, but well, I guess to some degree boring. Like, I kind of wanted to, like, make these machines myself. I guess I'd learn more about the game. Oh, there's a lava pool over there. I'd learn more about the game more doing it this way. And I feel like it would be more fair, because I'm going to use the, like, actual mechanics of the game. Whereas, I think some of the redstone setups, because especially when a lot of the systems don't really explain what's going on while they're building it, I don't know how glitch-tastic they are. But anyway, I decided to do it myself, and basically I spent 3 hours not being able to do this. And what was happening was I would sometimes get these lovely, beautiful lines of stone, and then occasionally I would get these, like, ugly, disgusting bits of cobble in there as well. And I couldn't figure out what was happening, and the only thing I could come to the conclusion was that it was my pulse generator, because to make this work, I have to get a redstone pulse to turn the pistons on and off. And I came to the conclusion that my setup just wasn't working. I know there's a bit of redstone missing right now, but I came to the conclusion this was the problem. And I just couldn't sort it out. Like, the longer the pulse I made it, the longer the time, I just couldn't find the sweet spot. So I came to the conclusion it must be like a really, really finite sweet spot. And yeah, that caused me to crash out. So yeah, that's basically what I did for 3 hours. Now, I've gone away, and I will concede, I've now looked up various guides to do this. I'm going to try and not fully copy it, but what I'm going to copy at the very least, and I have this in an open window in my background, I'm going to copy exactly how they do the pulse thing. Because I think the pulse is what's causing me a lot of grief right now. Like, I think it's not even just like, I think it has to be longer than like a 1-tick pulse as well as my other problem, which I didn't really appreciate before. So let's change this to be something more akin to what others use, and hopefully that will fix my problems. That is the grand plan. Also, between this part and the last part, I've been trying to learn more and more about redstone, because like I was like vaguely familiar with redstone, but you know, not like super familiar with redstone. So I've been trying to learn up some of the systems and all that jazz. It's like impossible, but I've still been trying to do it nonetheless. Anyway. Right. So I think the things I need to get right now, I actually might need some more of my cut copper. Do I have the... I made the cutting wheel thing here, right? I did. You know what? Blocks of copper just all become this. So the cobblestone is the only problem with the machine. I mean, that's the bit that got me really stuck. Also, yeah, hello, Vanga. Thank you for your 10 stream streak. Much appreciated. So yeah, the cobble thing was the part that really caused me the issues. There are other ways now, and I'm not quite decided yet exactly how I was going to do this, because what I was going to do was, because the loop setup literally requires me to, you know, move stone, wash with water, and then I need to then also bone meal moss. So I had a dispenser doing the bone meal, and that was basically the loop I needed to do. I was going to use a rail cart going around the side just to trigger this loop. A lot of the systems I've now looked at is systems that have the dispenser underneath the moss block instead of like on top of it. So maybe I'll do that instead. But I'm not sure. Maybe I'll try and do my like Bizarro World. My Bizarro World minecart thing. I think that's more like... It amuses me more. It's going to be noisier, to be fair. And maybe worse, but we'll see. We'll see if it's worse. Anyway. Now, one of the things I do have to do is, I think I broke this machine, right? Because I got a bit annoyed by it. Wait, hang on a sec. Do I have pistons in here? I do. I got really tilted because I couldn't get the outside ones to work properly, which was my other issue, because if you pulse too fast, the cobble would be made too quickly, and it would block the water flow, which would mean like the cobble wouldn't be made at the very edge case. By cobble, I actually mean, you know, not cobble, I mean stone. So I turned the outside edges off in a moment of weakness. But I think we can have these back on again now. So you can be on. And... you can be on. So we have to have a gap in the middle because there has to be a water block there. So don't worry about that. Also, I think just to like make sure everything's happy, let me just clear this out. Except for... Oh, don't need stone on me. Hang on a sec. Let me grab some stone. I do need the stone blocks to be here still. I've also trapped myself in the machine. Yeah, no, I mean, to be fair, even if I wanted to use the design, like, I actually just hard copied the design that I've seen, this setup is still fine. Like, it will still work. I would just have to, like, do some shenanigans below. Also, a lot of the other designs I see for this don't use dispensers with water buckets. They actually instead use trapdoors with water behind them. They're both, I think, effectively the same. Although it's not quite true, I guess. I will need to put another, like, redstone pulse into the dispenser to make it work, I think. But we can do that. Delicious workman's tea as well. Okay, what was I doing? Sorry, what did I need? I'll need this at some point. I need stone, right? And while I'm here, are you still making stone? You're not. I'll have you making stone because I'm probably going to fuck up the machine a few more times. Do I have a bucket down here? Of course I don't. Oh, by the way, don't worry about this lava. This was just like a small lava hole so that I could feed the furnace. And not waste the lava. And I will come up with, at some point when I build the machine, a better way to get to the top rather than this spiral staircase of copper. Okay, so what I need to now do is block these holes. I'm going to use stone, because then I can just turn the machine on and it should push this stone out as well. And that'll be very, very nice. Stone, stone. Right. Perfect. Moss block, I don't need you right now. I do need my lava buckets, though. It's fine. I'll just go get my lava bucket. And my other lava bucket. Then let me just quickly check with everything I'm looking at. I think now these just go on the outside. They do go on the outside. I think this was all fine. So a lava bucket will go here. A lava bucket will go here. And that is how we're going to produce the cobblestone. But as you can tell by like the lava flowing speed as well, I have to be a bit careful with like the whole speed by which this pulses at. Now, here's the bit that I'm going to copy. I want to know how they do the redstone. Because I think they use a pulse circuit, but it's actually slightly different than the pulse circuit I used. So they have... Okay, I think I actually could have left that redstone. Roughly speaking, they have a block like here, which has a lever on it. Okay, I'm just go grab a lever. Keep breaking my ankles. Then they have another block out this way, which is fine. I can do that. And the last piston is actually here. So I might need that there. Then they have 1, 2, 3, 4 repeaters. I also need a redstone torch. You know what? Just... Oh, that's fine. I'll break my ankles again in a second. When I need the other stuff. So they have a torch here. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, I think I said. 1, 2, 3, 4. The first 3 are full ticked. I think that's the fourth one is second ticked. Alright, so 1, 2, 3. Okay, it's 3 ticks. Is that it? I think that might be it. I'm only unsure about the tick on this one. They have a redstone here. And the redstone's all up here. Back to this one. And that now will pulse. And hopefully this is the perfect speed for this just to produce stone and not the orchard of cobblestone, and all comes out at the same time and doesn't, like, you know, produce asymmetries. Lovely. I love it. Perfect. And again, if it pushes again, it shouldn't break. It doesn't break. I love when a plan comes to action. Now, I assume if I push this, I can turn it off. I can. Glorious. Glorious. I love it. Again, I tried to, like, learn exactly how this is happening, but all I know is I believe it's like a pulse circuit, right? This type of setup. Very similar to the pulse I had. I don't know why I don't have to, like, flick the lever on and off quickly to do this. I assume it's because the timing on this is so slow that by the time, like, it's come through, it pulses out. I don't know. I don't understand. But either way, this generates just a pulse. Better than the one I was doing. It's the perfect timing for it to work as well. I'm not going to complain. So we just need to turn that on when we want the machine to start working. Now, the next part of the, the process... let me just pull you up to the top, you up to the top, is basically making everything else work. I'm first and foremost going to, again, set this bit up as I had it before. Honestly, let me just get in the well. So this bit won't be moved, but I don't mind if it gets turned into moss. The center one has to be a moss. And I think I might do this slightly different than what I was doing before. I was trying to do this elevated before. Yeah, I think if the repeater is anything other than what I just set it as, it breaks the machine. Like, it's very specific. I might be able to make it slower, but I think that's the slowest I can have it. Or the fastest I can have it, sorry. So we have a moss here. So if we have a bone meal this moss block, all this other stuff will start turning into moss blocks and mossy carpet and that type of thing. And the water washes through here, washes it through, and we get lovely, lovely biomatter on the other side that goes into the composters, which then goes into a chest. So that is the dream of the situation. Now, I think I need to keep the top of this moss block clear. Which, now that I think about it, actually means I can't do it this way around, I think. We'll see. If I can't do it the way I want to do it, then I will just go to what they did and I'll just copy it. Well, I think I was trying to have this happen like this, and the dispenser going into this block was my grand plan. Now, if we feed in, and this is the other slight issue with the setup, and I guess why people do it the other way around, is I need to get bone meal into this system, so I'm going to have to pull bone meal from the bottom to the top. But I kind of want to use the Jeffries for that, or what I called them. Franklin, sorry. I kind of want to use the Franklins just to move the items around, so maybe I'll try and get Franklins in the setup as well, but I'm slightly concerned that Franklins might fall into the machine. We'll see. Based on me falling off of this machine, there's a pretty good chance they will also fall in and out of the machine, but that's fine. So what I want to do now is set up a system where, and I'm going to need some more stuff. I think I want a minecart like running around here that triggers all the circuitry that I need it to trigger. But I don't know if I can get it just onto this rim or if I'll have to build another rim. I think the bit that's like slightly concerning me is this bit, because for the water dropper thing to work, I have to have the water. Sorry, I need a pulse into the dropper to like send out the water. Then I need a second pulse at the end of it to suck the water back in once it's done its business. But my theory is if I just put a detector rail here, add one like here or something, or maybe like here, it'll trigger this one way, which I believe. And again, I'm not a redstone expert. I believe this will work on the dispensers, right? Yes, that will work on the dispensers. So yeah, I think and hope. I'm a bit concerned as well that didn't get blown out in time. Wait, hang on a sec. So it will do it eventually. I might have to like slow it down a little bit. The first trigger does the water, the second trigger empties the water. That's the plan. And then, the other thing I was like thinking of, and I don't know how easy this would be, is if I do a chest minecart, I could have it go over a hopper that feeds into like this system, and then that could be the way that I get the bone meal into this. And then we just need like another hopper system on top of that, where like the Jeffries, you know, walk up the hill or something, and they put the bone meal into that chest that then goes back into the system. It's grossly inefficient, but I kind of like the idea of it. The alternate way is I use like a water pipe to take it from the bottom back to the top again. Or the actual sensible action is instead of doing it from the top, I do it from the bottom. Which is the way like every other way I've seen this does it, but that's fine. We don't need to do it that way. Okay. And I guess I can potentially just leave this on indefinitely. Because I don't know if this can, like, break my cycle. Maybe this actually can break my cycle. We'll see. I'll see if this can break my cycle. I'm just a bit worried if, like, the water, like, backflows into here. Something bad could happen, but I'm actually not sure it can happen that way. So, yeah, I think I'm good. Alright, let me go grab some hoppers. Alright. Instantly in full. Let me remove my 4 stacks of torches. I don't need them right now. My rail. I will need some powered rail as well. And I don't need detector rails with me. Okay. I don't know what goes into a detector rail, but I'll just grab some stuff. I need stone pressure plates. Of course I do. What was I thinking? I'm going to need at least 3, I think. Maybe more. Oh, in full. Okay, hold. You don't need that many. Okay, my bad. Didn't realize I was going to make 6 of these. So my thought is, I have a detector rail here. I have one here. I just have too much stuff in my inv. Okay, we don't need the seeds right now. Then I get normal rails, I guess. I'm probably going to need some powered ones, right, to keep this going. Hang on a sec. Let me just see if the theory works, then we can power it up. I might need this as well. Because actually I need a detect rail here. I think. Okay, I think actually this will work. I need some more hoppers. Again, this is not going to be the most optimal machine. Don't shout at me for it being not optimal. I'm sorry. I'm not good at the game. I'm going to use too much not redstone. I'm going to use too much iron. Actually, I might need to go get more iron. Oh, never mind. I've got 64 here. I think, I'm probably going to need more than 3, actually. In fact, I will definitely need more than 3. I possibly will need more than 4, but we need a few more hoppers. Right. Then I need the hopper to feed into this one. The hopper to feed into this one. I then need to remove this block. I need the hopper to then feed into this one. Hang on a minute. This might be a problem. Because I think hoppers can also be, and in fact I think they can be. I think hoppers can be redstoned, right? So I might need to do... Hold on. I might need to do this one back and then move this little platform. Actually, let me test if this works. Sorry. It might actually work without it. my beautiful copper blocks. I actually need to go and get them as well. Because if copper falls into the composter machine, I break my machine. That can stay there, though. Maybe I can do it with the redstone over. Maybe I don't care that the hopper stops for a brief moment in time when a redstone signal goes over it. Because the rest of the time, the item's going to get pulled through, I believe. Right? And can I do this? I think this might work. I don't know for a fact, though. We might want to check if this works at some point. So, cart goes around here. Cart goes around here. Where are my powered rails? Where's my redstone torches? Where are my random blocks? Let me make sure this does actually do a cycle. I think that's another boost for it to just go indefinitely. Or do you think I need one on the other side? I'll try something like that. Might be overkill, but don't need to stop. Hang on a sec. I actually have to be a bit cautious where this starts. In fact, I guess I could use one to stop the minecart system. Well, let me just make sure this actually is working. It needs a bit more juice. Okay. That's fine. I'll nab some of these. I kind of thought that might happen. So he needs a bit of juice on this side. Which is a little bit awkward, actually, because I can't really put the juice here, right? Or maybe I can. Can I get this to power two things at the same time? Hold up. Because I'm pretty sure if I put a redstone torch here, right, it's going to make the droppers work as well. Oh, no, it doesn't. Okay. I'm going to say, this could be glorious, then. Okay, I need one more. Powered rail, that is. And I need to put it here, I think, where I just put the start of the rim. And I think then it'll do a full cycle. I don't have any powered rail. I don't think I've got gold over here either, which is pretty annoying. Alright, we're going to have to run back to Cobe. And yes, I do see the irony of saying I don't have enough gold to do this when I'm eating golden carrots, but sadly I can't strip the carrots of their delicious, juicy gold to put it onto my rails. If I could, I would. I guess that's something else I did on like the stream that YouTube will never see because it's just me crashing out for 3 hours, is that I made some golden carrots. Because I kind of came to the conclusion we had enough gold. Okay, where are resources? Here resources. So how to make the powered rail? Yeah, powered rail's pretty expensive. I'll just make 6 more, but I'll bring some gold over them to the other base. How are you guys getting on, by the way? Oh, Franklin! Oh, one of the Franklins has gone to sleep! How adorable! It's your turn soon. That's fine. We want the Franklins to go to sleep anyway, because we're going to move them out of that base. Actually, this could work quite nicely, because if I put a lever on this as well, I could start and stop the track at will, which would also start and stop the machine. I do also have to be a touch careful because I think I'm slowly making a monster spawner on top of my factory, which is probably not a good idea. Hello. What are you selling? I'd grab a bit of podstall if I wanted to. I don't really care. Unfortunately for me, I've got a dripstone cave below me, so don't need that either. You have been somewhat separated from... Actually, I'll take the leads. You have been somewhat separated from your llamas, sir. Jesus Christ, I had too much stuff in Inv again. I want to check something. How does this interact? Doesn't. I assume monsters can't spawn on rails then. Wait, how does this interact as well? Doesn't interact. I'll try and light it up a bit up here. Just in case. But I'm not sure if the monsters can spawn on the redstone blocks or the track blocks. And if that's the case, it's generally okay. And I can just put that there. So if I do this with a lever, I can turn on and off my monstrosity. Oh, baby. Actually, I might want to, just to be safe, put another one here. Just so it doesn't slow down. And then when I want it to stop, I just do this. And because there's no redstone here, there should be a break now. Alright, perfect. Just what I wanted. Now, all I need to do is check that if I put bone meal into the monstrosity, does it actually bone meal the things? And I guess the other thing I need to then do is... And maybe I can connect this switch to this switch. Hang on, that would be so glorious if I can do this. I'm not sure this is the way this works. Okay, I hate redstone. For now, actually, let's not worry about it too much. I don't know if I can connect the redstone, like, you know, line of blocks here, redstone around here to there. Because the redstone will go down this. I don't know if that would, like, I guess I can check. Okay, let's check. If I put a redstone here... So it's pulsing. It's not pulsing, so it will work. Okay, hang on a minute. This might be even more glorious than I ever planned, because I think I could have one lever controlling both setups, which I didn't actually originally have planned. The problem right now is that this is off and this is on, which is not the way around I want it to be. So, I need to introduce into this a... I need to flip the circuits. Which, again, I'm not a redstone genius by any stretch of the imagination. But can you do this with, like, this or something? Like, I need to turn into... What's it called now? Like, is it just a not gate? Or it's like the opposite? So, if I now redstone on here, that should turn on. Which turns this off, which turns this on. Oh my god, I'm so good at redstone. I do need to... I do appreciate... I need to give this a push as well. For this to actually work. I could probably set up some, like, little, like, catch thing to release it. And maybe we'll look at doing that in the future. But for now... all I need to do to start my machine, I believe, is push this, and then pull the lever. So I just need to quickly check now. If I bone meal in here, and then I come along, I flick the lever, I do this. Ah! Let's go! Okay, it could be more efficient, I think. And the timing might be slightly off. But, also, wait, have you run out of bone meal? What's going on here? Why are you not bone mealing anymore? Oh, wait. Hang on a sec. This top block can't be covered, right, for this to work. Is that what caused that? Okay, so, so I have a problem which I guess the other systems don't have. Also, why are you blocking up there? How does one stop this block being covered? As soon as I solve that, the riddle of the Sphinx is undone. Because as I said, most of the systems I see put it in this moss block in the layer below and you bone meal from the bottom. I guess it's so that the water will always uncover the top bit. Okay, I may have created a small issue for myself here. We'll see. I did see something similar to my setup before. Let me just quickly see if I can find that. Maybe with a sign, because, I mean, maybe the sign might work, actually, like an open gate, because I need it to not be a block. Because I can't just put a block on it, because that would also block the block, if you know what I mean. But yeah, maybe like an open gate, because I think that counts as, like, no block, right? But I think that's for the sake of, like, items going through it. Alright, I found the fucking stupid glitch version of this farm. I'm sure I saw someone else do this with a rail setup. But I don't think it's the same as what I've done. Rail. Or I can just Google block on top of Moz Minecraft. How do I solve this? I'll also try something like just this. Does that work? Does it recognize redstone as a block? It does. Oh, you go back. Hang on a second. Just looking around. Oh, the rail one. I'm sure I saw someone do this, like, fairly similar with, like, a rail setup, which was part of the thing that inspired me to do it this way. Alright, I actually can't find it. Let's try the usual. Let's do, like, fence post and fence gate. I might try gate first. I always mix up which one's which. Is this the gate or is this the post? That's a gate. Okay, so gate doesn't work. It opens the gate. Good, good. That I didn't even consider. Okay, that's my bad. So not a good option. Sign. Good. Cut down a tree, I guess. Oh, never mind. We've got some wood. Don't know why I came up here, but I'll just make the jump. So I think if I'm going to do this, I'd have to have it like... Hang on a sec. This. Which I can't. Actually, hang on a minute. I can. I'd have to have it like... Wait, this is stupid. I need to use moss. I don't need that sign. I need to have another block adjacent to it, I guess. Like that. And I have the sign on this. But I could have it like this way around if you know what I mean. But I don't think it matters. No. Treat it as obstructed. Okay. So close. Whoops. Right. Block stuff growing on grass Minecraft or something. I'll check for grass. Let me also Google moss. Because maybe I can get away with putting something else on it. Like, does glass work? Using bonemeal and moss blocks causes certain types of adjacent blocks to be replaced with moss blocks. To allow moss to spread, they need air above them. Alright, let me just check for air. All plants can be placed on moss except for cactus. Fungi can be placed on moss. I wonder... What I could do is, like, not a really clean solution, but I guess it is a solution. Is I could just have a piston above this that procs and breaks it immediately afterwards. Like, literally, like, a piston here and just, like, shoves across this block. Because I think the piston would break the grass like that. I can check. My fucking boots, I need to put mending on these, like, rapidly, because I keep just jumping off everything. If I put a piston block here, and I power it, it does destroy it. So I think that would be a solution. It's obviously not, like, super clean, but... And there's probably, like, some nerdy Minecraft interaction I don't know about, like, oh, you can put a mushroom on there and it treats as an air block or something. But I don't know it, so... We'll just take a piston. And then the final thing is I could do with the timing being a bit nicer, so I think I need to... Maybe I don't need to, but I think I should put a delay on this. Like that. Again, I need to use moss here, because if I don't collect it, it bungs up my system. Oops. Actually, that block might need to be there. If that block needs to be there. So I'll use copper. Does that work? I might need to just shuffle this around a little bit, but let me just check. I don't know if that redstone actually goes up to trigger the piston. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we've, I think, achieved it. It's alive! How about a rail? I think you would have seen it as a block as well. It's fine, this works. Ah, it does it. Okay. And actually, we should now actually have produced... Holy shit, I produced 15 bone meal with my... partially my made invention. Now, I forgot I need to grab my minecart. Next thing I need to do is get the minecart. I need to put a chest on it. Because currently I need to feed bone meal into this system now. Because otherwise I will run out. Ah, I fell into the machine. It hurt so much. Might want to cover that as well. So, I assume a hopper minecart, by the way, is literally just... sorry, not hopper. A chest minecart is literally just a chest plus a minecart. I'm not even going to look at it. I'm just going to assume that is the case. Because it would make so much sense. Perfect. Now, I guess probably on this side. I need to be a bit careful because I'm getting close to the wall now. So maybe I don't do it over here. What I need to do is I need to get a system in place where the bone meal can come back from the bottom back to the top that then hoppers into this. I can't remember how long, like, or even if it has to station under a hopper for like a certain amount of time to like get all the blocks in, but I don't even need all the blocks to go in. As long as like more than one bone meal at a time goes into the chest, like in full motion, I'm actually okay with that. And I kind of don't want to be too near this jank, and this is also quite near a wall. And I'm not moving this setup. I'd rather move this wall one out if I have to. Or more realistically, I should do it at the front. So maybe we'll say like here. I don't actually ever need to be on the other side. And I think this is how you do this, right? Nope. Or do I need it to be... Hang on a sec. Like that. Because I think now this will feed into the chest, right? It will. Now we're cooking. So, Franklin will carry the bone meal from the bottom to the top. That might be what I tried to do here. I'm slightly concerned that he's just going to go, you know, wandering around all these chests. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how stupid this actually ends up being. Because as long as, like, I'm getting more than one bit of bone meal per cycle into this system, it doesn't matter. But it really depends on the rate that this goes into here. But we'll check it in a second. Also, I guess if we're going to do this, to push the machine to start it, I'm actually going to need a little platform around. Because I need to walk to this side to push it. But again, I can make this all better in the future. In fact, I might not even need this here. We'll see. I can also get a system that elevates the item back to the top again, without Franklin's assistance. It would be pretty funny, though, to watch Franklin, like, walk up a set of stairs, though, to... You know, he just trudges up here with the bone meal, pours it into the machine. I think that'd be swell. Anyway, where's my bone meal? What I want to quickly do is, if this is going... If this is going... Hang on a sec. If this is going... I have determined there's a problem. I'm trying to check something. It's against the clock Minecrafting. Okay. So if I put bone meal in here, it took one bone meal. Which is actually kind of perfect. As long as this hopper is always full, this would infinitely go now. The one bit that's not perfect is actually... I needed to not stop on that tile. But I assume if I get it to stop on this tile, I've probably fucked it up in the same way I just fucked it up. Can you... Okay. It's fine. Okay, that's fine. So I can't push it on the block where the hopper is. But I could probably come up with a smarter setup anyway just to do this. So if I stop the machine now, it should stop on this tile instead. Oh, I've beans the machine again. Okay, the machine is very beansable, but honestly, it's not even the end of the world. I'm sure there's ways of, like starting the machine from, like, a stop. So, hang on a sec, before I fuck it up. Do this. Push. Okay, so yeah. This would allow me to start, stop the machine whenever I want to. So all I need to do now is get bone meal from the bottom to the top. Which means I need to create a system where Franklin can get up here. Is this smart? Is this actually really smart? So it's just Franklin not to walk into the machine and die? Because all it takes is for Franklin to walk into the minecart or, you know, something like that. And it gums up the machine. What I could do is hopper this out one more and build like a bit of a wall or something so Franklin can't ever get over here. Maybe that's what I have to do. Honestly, look at all this real estate I've got here. It would have been so much easier if I just piped it up through the middle. Oh well. I think this could be funnier. And again, I've done all of this for 17 bone meal so far. Right. Doing more smooth stone, I could actually do with building out my floor out a little bit more. I have a metric fucked out of this stuff. Probably don't need any of this other stuff. Okay, we'll go with this. I then also have the question, to be fair, of how do I get the bone meal out of here into this machine? I've not quite decided how I'm going to integrate that, or if I'm going to integrate it. So this might all be flying naught, but... Or I'll do it off camera, connecting it up. My theory is I can maybe put... I don't know. I'll test a few things out. Yeah, where am I going? I wanted to build the floor out. And actually, I need to do some trading when I go back to home base. Because I need to get the mending book for my boots. Because I'm actually just destroying my boots, jumping off things. I'll just finish what I started. The other obvious issue with this setup, and I've not well, I guess you could have figured it out by now. Franklin's do go off eventually, so my machine, started speaking, isn't an infinite machine if I use Franklin as one of the pieces of the puzzle, because eventually Franklin will oxidize. I don't know if you can actually, like, wax Franklin or something. And I don't mean that as in, you know, to remove his delicate copper-based hairs, like his copper wire. I mean in the sense of stopping from oxidizing any further so he can, you know, be an endless slave for me. But if I can, then we'll probably do that. Right. Where's my cutter? I need some stairs. We'll say 12. Where the fuck is this llama going? Oh, I can't get to my machines anymore. Oh my god. Screw you. You can be angry at me all you want, but... don't get on my factory wall. So I need a way to get Franklin up here. I also think, as I said, it'd be a good idea to make it so Franklin hasn't got access to the machinery. So I think I'll put another hopper here. Then Franklin will just need to get to a chest that I will put here, I guess. Wait, hang on a sec. That doesn't make any sense. Okay, that's ugly. Let me at least make that glass. Do I have any glass on me? I'll make that out of glass so we can actually see into the machine. Shove the lava into the machine. Unfortunately, I think the bits it can drop... Actually, I don't know what llamas can drop. I don't know if it can drop things that are biodegradable. Because I've got a funny feeling it can drop like a lead or something. Which is not biodegradable, so it would actually gum up my machine. So I think if I do something like this... He can do the business. Right? My glass. Also, when I do this, I can take this stairs off. Because I can also use the same set of stairs. And to be honest with you, I'll probably make this a bit more like... maybe I'll try and beautify this at some point, but for now, I just want to see if it actually works. It's not what I wanted. When you do this way, I always forget. It's not what I wanted either. Minecraft stairs. Ah, forget it, I'm just jumping off. Or something like this. So it's like a copper thing. It almost looks like it's like a pillar. So one here. 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 There. 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 I need more spruce stone. There, and that should be it, right? Wait. That's wrong. I need this and then nothing at the bottom. Okay. There, there, there. Wait, are we good? Is this just stairs all the way now? Alright, perfect. I've built stairs. The great difficult task of building stairs. I'm sure... I mean, that's wrong. I'm sure Franklin will not fall down the stairs here. Also, turns out building stairs is actually a hard task because I fucked it up. Whatever. So all I need to do is get Franklin to come up here. Then, where are my glass blocks? There will be a chest here. Wait, will Franklin put stuff into barrels? I don't know if I ever checked this. For fuck's sake. Do you want to try something? Does a chest open under this? Is this one of those weird chest mechanics? Can I put like a half block or a stair here for it to work? Because I don't want Franklin to have the ability to go into the machine. Because I think that would be a really bad idea. It will open. Okay, so I think Franklin will recognize that will open. I just don't let Franklin get in the gubbins. I think that will stop Franklin from getting into the gubbins. I do need to torch this up, otherwise I've created a monster spawner. Okay. And again, I need to torch this up, this up, this up. See if this works. And I may also have to destroy this chest. Which I think I will do now, or try to do now. Otherwise, he's going to constantly try and get into this chest. Okay. Sign. That. Okay, so I think what I'm going to try and do, I might live to regret this, because I don't know if these are making it equally, but what I want to try and get is this chest becomes a copper chest. How do you make copper chests again? I can't remember. You might also check this chest, which is a bit problematic. I'm hoping, I don't know, maybe this is such a unbelievable pipe dream. Wait, I may also want, will Franklin do... Franklin, I don't know if you're going to do what I want you to do. Also, I don't need just pure copper here anymore. I might actually have to go back to home base. Which is really funny. Yeah, I think I'm actually gonna have to go back to home base. Assuming they fill up, like, roughly equally. Then it will split my bone meal for me 50-50. Which means Franklin can take half the bone meals and he can feed it back into the system. And I'll siphon off the other half. And I think half that is more than enough. I actually think it'll gum up the system on his side, but that's fine. Because the overfill, I think, will just go into the other hopper anyway. It'll take a long time for this to happen, but it would just overfill into the other side. I guess I could also just steal Franklin now, right? Look at them. They've created a... Oh, Franklin. Oh, Franklin. I'm going to wake you up and get a... I'm going to stick with your name on it. Holy shit. I didn't... Fucking son of a bitch. You've let the sheep out! You stupid... Okay, this... You forced my hand. I told you, if anyone escapes... A killing is happening. And also, I'm going to know which ones you are, because you are brown sheep. It's fairly uncommon. Come here. No one's left alive. Don't think you can hide in the bamboo. Or don't think you can hide in the cocoa beans either. I recognize who you are. Also, why am I lagging so much back here? Probably because there's like 800 sheep running around. There's sheep in the cows. That's not saving you. Oi! Don't you do the ring around the roses with me? We good? Alright. Cows, you didn't necessarily deserve this, but... It's about sending a message. I think we're good. I think I've caught everyone. Please, cows, let me get to your delicious meat. Good cows. How many sheep do we have left? 2. Perfect. That's all I needed. Hold up a sec. Let me close all of this. Quick bonemeal. Bamboo grows. Crazy. If only I could compost bamboo, it'd be so much better. I do appreciate, I think it's like a real world reason why bamboo is not compostable. Like it's too fibrous or something. But fuck, it'd be so useful if I could do it. Right, I need to make sure I don't mistake the beating stick for a real stick. Can I put the beating stick in here for a second? Thank you. Right, I need the copper chest now. Is this empty? Perfect, it is. Where I'm going, I only need that. Okay. You have run out of lava. Enjoy. My inv is just so full of junk. I moved all my buckets across. Whatever, I'll just leave the meat in there. That's fine. I don't need it right now. Where are my sticks? I need to get a mending book for my feet. There you go. Selected breeding of the compliant non-escape sheep. Or compliant, I didn't see that was meant to be. That's how you have to do it. Alright, I need one of you to... Thank you. Really? Do you have enough for a mending book? Okay. I'll have to take the stick farming thing a bit more seriously, because I desperately need the mending book. Compliant, yes. Perfect. My linguistics are fine. There isn't a word I'm not aware of called compliant. Alright. Well, let me do a little bit of farming as well while I'm here. We don't have to do some farming for quite some time. We don't really need the carrots right now, so I won't worry about the carrots. Actually, let me bring these seeds over with me, because I can actually just compost the seeds. Compliant apparently is a vendor of intelligent water pump controls and protection systems. They got the name from these two sheep. They were the founders, these two brown sheep. Alright, perfect. And perfect. Ish. Right. Let me have a quick nap. Run across. And then see how good Franklin is at, like, pathing. If Franklin is awful at pathing or finds, like, some way to, like, you know, destroy reality, I will do a different... I mean, honestly, I might just do a different system anyway. Because it's kind of ugly, these massive stairs. And actually, now I think about it, it'd probably be better to use Franklin to take from the other side, not right back to the top again, and just feed it into my other system I'm going to create at some point. Because I can't really gather them... maybe I can do them doing both, but... I'm not sure it's a good idea. I think we have to be very careful with how often we use Franklin in the factory, because otherwise, they'll just go crazy, right? They'll start running to, like, all the random different machines. Everyone's going to be doing something different. And they're just going to go up the place, right? They're going to start putting, like... I don't know, leaves in the potion things, and it'll just be chaos. So, as much as I want to use them for like, everything, I think we have to be a touch careful with how we use them. I've actually brought a hoe with me as well, which is not the smartest idea. So how do you do this, right? Can you right click to remove oxidation? Is that what you do? You can. Okay. So is that how you make the Franklins better? Also, I might need to put a little platform here for you two, Danguses. Hold up. Probably should have used steps for this. Whatever. Just let me see if it works. You good? You awake? Are we alive? Right, where's that beaten stick gone? Franklin, you fucking moron! You destroyed the sheep. Where are you going? Oh, I've just realized there is a problem here. Hang on a sec. Right. The problem now is that I needed to always be a bone meal in here. Otherwise, Franklin won't ever put it down. Which is actually the same issue I had at the other place, right? Wait, this won't work. I've realized why this won't work. Can you get oxidized really quickly again? Hang on a sec. The reason this won't work is he'll just check this chest and put the bone meal into this chest every single time. Which is not what I want. So I am going to have to pipe it back up again. Whatever. I can... Oh, fuck's sake. I can do this. I just don't know if I'm going to be bothered doing it right now. I think I'll just set this up going. And I will just dump a ton of bone meal into here. And just let it start farming for me. I guess for now as well, I'll just put a temporary block here so nothing can get into the hair. But like, on paper, I believe the machine now works, and it should produce more bone meal than I'm putting into it. I kind of like that. There you go. I'll let them be free. Yeah, I would like to have them skitching around. What I'll probably do instead is, like, roughly what I said. I'll replace this at some point with a copper chest. And I'll have them running the items over to, like, this setup, if I can get the bone meal into that setup to then make the plants faster. That is the dream. My only slight other concern is, does this just go endlessly if I, like, leave? Or do I have to, like, keep the chunk loaded? And I kind of wish this would take 2 out at the same time. Just for when it goes to the empty system. But it shouldn't really matter. It would just limit, I mean, it's going to limit it anyway, right? To, like, one of these cycles is as quickly as I can, like, do the bone meal cycle. Wait, it's not working, is it? Figured out why. Oh, wait, hang on a second. It's not working at all. This isn't dropping... Huh. It isn't dropping yet. I guess I checked it with the stuff inside the dispenser, right? I didn't check it actually dispensed into the dispenser. So why is this not hoppering out? Is it because there's the detector on it? Chest, minecart, hopper out. I thought you just had to have the hopper under it. Oh, I think I know what it is. Hang on a sec. I think it's because this is giving a redstone signal to the hopper right underneath it. And when you give the redstone signal to the hopper, it doesn't work right. I think that's the way around it works. So I think as long as the hopper is not on the detector rail, it's probably fine. I think. Honestly, this is kind of stupid, but I think this would fix it. Because again, I'm turning the hoppers off, but it doesn't really matter at that point. Because as long as one goes into the hopper system, we should be fine. It probably means that if it's like if there was no bone meal in the system, the first one is not gonna like get dispensed right in time for it to trigger the bone mealing, but it doesn't really matter. I think this will work. He says. Is that still triggering it? Hang on a second. I just don't know Minecraft well enough. Can you go back, please? Oh, I got a bit of a derailment. Hang on a sec. Just get back onto the rails if you don't mind. Fine, just put me in the lava. There you go, that's fine. Franklin, think that could have been what you were doing as a job. So, do I need the detector here instead? Which, I can't have it here. Fuck's sake. Oh, it's fine. I'll just run down and go and grab some more. Wait, it's all in my bags. I need some more rail. I need some redstone torches, which are in here. Don't need these stairs blocks, they can go back. The golden carrot's better than steaks. I believe so, because I think they give you like a ton of saturation or something like that. I'm actually not sure on this. I think it is. Like, they give you like the same food or something, but one of them makes you like less hungry going forwards. So it works out better that way. Right, let me just quickly check. Does this now work? It might not do the cycle anymore. Okay, he's doing it now. So I had the trigger too close to the hopper, and he was turning the hopper off as I went over it, so he wasn't dispensing any bone meal into the system. I think now, for real, I could just leave this, and it will just do me the goodies. But I do have to, like, a bit like the other system, I have to run down and grab the bone meal that's going to be formed and take it back to the top. Same here. I have to, like, take this and put it into, like, here, potentially. So, 2 machines kind of made. I do need to, like, sort out some gubbins with this. I probably will pull these stairs up at some point. Although it is quite useful to get up here. So maybe I'll beautify it a little bit and just have the stairs so I can get to the machine this way, rather than the jank stairs over there. And maybe I'll top this machine. And I mean that as in, like, you know, I'll put some sort of, like, glass thing on it so I can, like, watch the machine in action. I guess I can make it quicker by making the minecart go faster as well. Or I could do the alternate setup where you go from the bottom, which I think would do this a bit quicker than what I'm doing right now. But probably not a lot. So yeah, I think I don't know if I'm going to do it now, but I think I'll pipe up to here instead. Like, I will... How will I do this? I don't know. There's obviously better ways with, like, redstone to do this with, like, comparators and checking chests and stuff. I'll find some way to split this bone meal stack, like, 50-50. And then half of that I'll put into, like, a, you know, the water tube thing, like the mine shaft thing, where I can, you know, get out the mine by just walking to the water shaft. I'll do that here for the items, pump them up, and have that go into, like, this chest or something. A lot of the monsters getting stuck on the right-hand side. I think eventually it's getting pushed through, right? Are you getting pushed through? Oh, you're not getting pushed through. Hang on a sec. Hold. Okay, I think I just need to put a line here. I owned out over this line as well. It's like, do I need this line or not? I think it turns out I do need this line. I know a bit of carpet's getting stuck on the top, but I was going to say, I don't care about that. I do actually somewhat care about that. Because maybe that'll get gummed up into the system as well. So I think now if I look at it... If I look at the system... Yeah, there's nothing in the dispenser, and there should be nothing in here. So it's basically burnt through all the bonemeal I've given it. Please, I want to check on the chest. Yeah, so it's run out of bonemeal, which is why I'm going to have to automate this, and maybe it was always a pipe dream to let these guys do it. We can actually check. If I put 30 bone meal into here, we'll see how much comes out the bottom. I will keep doing this as well, for now. It still doesn't feel like it's, like, quite perfect yet. I'm not producing resources as fast as I would like. As I said, the whole dream plan eventually is that this then goes into a smelting setup, but I'm not producing enough... Well, we're not producing enough kelp, that is for certain. I'm probably not producing enough bone meal either for the setup, but maybe it's fine. Maybe it is actually enough. We'll see. I just want to do this glitchy ass setup where you use a sand block like being pistoned through another sand block. I'll probably actually have another stair there as well. Okay. Oh, actually, you know what? It's not doing too bad. In that small amount of time, we've got 16 bone meal. No, composters aren't instant. So, I think they're actually more complicated than this, but basically, it takes a certain amount of biomaterial for it to produce a bone meal from it. I think, strictly speaking, it's actually... I think it's like a random chance, like, you know, depending on the blocks you put in, it's like an 80% chance to tick up, or 30% chance to tick up. And once it reaches a threshold, it produces a bone meal. I'm also not quite sure this is perfect in the form of... like breaking the moss block to the bottom. And also reducing the moss block to the bottom. I feel like maybe this setup where it's like in the air slightly is actually not ideal. Maybe I should have put it in line. But I kind of like this jank setup. I know it's a chance as well when you do this bone meal and moss thing for certain blocks to be changed and certain blocks to not be changed. So I don't know if I'm just hitting that like random probability that the blocks below aren't changing that often. Anyway, I think we've run out of bone meal again. Okay, so I put 30 in, I got 34 out. That's not a great exchange. Hold on. I am going positive, though. Okay, I mean, that's not like that was a good roll. Grandpa is an old fellow. Thanks for the follow. It took me a few seconds to like pass through the name. But I think that's it. Oh, I think actually, hang on a minute. I think I know what the problem. Well, what are the other problems is. Oh, I think it's because I've actually created like these blocks above as well. It's actually blocking the moss from underneath being formed. Okay, hang on a sec. It can be improved. It can be improved. So the problem... Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. I think I've figured this out. Sorry, Glass, I'm gonna break you. I think I need to change this setup. To not be here. We'll still have it, don't get me wrong, but it'll just be slightly different. Actually, I might have needed that a little bit. How do I do this? Because what I'll do instead... Do I have a detector rail on me? I don't, right? I'll put a detector rail on the other side. Because remember, this line isn't doing anything, really. It is, but it's not doing too much. Let me go to sleep. Basically, I don't want to cover any parts where the moss blocks can be used. There is a line where it's not being used. I need to use that line better. Actually, I should hold on to this. I'm going to fall into the machine almost certainly at some point. I don't need this amount of redstone. I don't need that on me. I do need my detector rails. I probably might need these, so I'll grab these. And I think I'm good beyond that. I'll drop my torches. Okay. I just need to figure out how I'm going to do this again. So what I now need to do is have a detector rail here. I guess, hang on a minute. Hold on. Can I not have a detector rail into a powered rail? Like that. I might be cooking here, or getting cooked, one or the other. So the minecart hits this, sees it, and then does the trigger. Then this is the line I don't care about, right? Because the blocks below me, it doesn't matter if they turn into moss blocks. I can't farm them because there's no piston pushing. Then I need that here. And then you can be redstone. I think that will trigger that. So the detector gets here and breaks that block before it comes back round again to, you know, let the bonemeal this again. Because if this has not got an air block on top of it, it won't work. The same thing is true of the ones below as well. I need an air block above them for it to work. So actually, I can't really encase this system, which means this part can't really have a roof on it. Now, I have the same issue I had before, though. I could really do with this all being in a line, but how do I hop it out? Wait, can I? Oh, no, I can't. I guess what I can do is... Oh my god, it's so awkward. I can take the redstone signal off the other side or something instead. Is that the way I do it? Like redstone out this way and then loop it over the top. It's such an inelegant solution. Oops. Because I actually don't want that redstone to be there anyway. And honestly, I don't want that one to be there either. Alright, let me try this and just see if this works. It might get gummed up on this side. Okay, the detector rail into powered rail does work. Which makes a lot more sense. Also, it is going infinitely now. The one final thing I might do is that block there above the hopper. I probably should actually fill it in just so nothing can fall into the hopper. And it'd be nice as well to get this stuff that's growing on the top into the system. And not waste it. But this should be way more efficient now, I think. Wait, hang on a sec. Hang on a minute. I gotta cut up in a minute. Can I not just put the thing above the dispenser? Am I stupid? Like, can I not just have the the piston here and push it off this way so these things actually drop into the well. Again, this is me not being fully aware of how exactly the redstone works. But that would be even better, actually. Hang on a sec. Because the dream is I have it like this, actually, right? The question again then comes, how do I power the blocks, I suppose? But I don't know how the power, like... How does the power pass through here? I don't know. Basically, does this work? Is the test. No. Oh wait, I gotta read it. It might work. Is there actually any bone meal in the thing anymore? Because wasn't there like one bit? Oh no, there is 4 bone meal. So this doesn't use the dispenser now. What I fucking hate with redstone, by the way. Like, why does me putting this block here now stop this one working? Because this worked fine without this block. That's the bit that makes me, like, get annoyed by it. And again, I'd rather not build around the side. Add a repeater. Here. Still not doing it. Or it, hang on a sec. Is the issue now? Is the issue now that the piston's treated as above it as well? No, it's not that. So it's just not redstone signaling the whatchamacallit anymore. Does the piston need to go one tick later? I mean, it doesn't matter if the piston needs to go one tick later. What I'm trying to do is get the piston to work and the dispenser at the same time without building out onto this line or the line next to it on this line. I can do this from the reverse side, but occasionally blocks form here that I wouldn't mind getting like knocked into the machine. Whereas if I do it the other way around, it doesn't get knocked into the machine, it gets knocked onto the side. I'm trying to make it like very, very slightly more efficient. Also, I need the hopper to go into the bottom thing. The bone meal from below. Yes. I could have done that, you're right. I could have set up the system this way. I guess what I could also do is I could piston from the top. Actually, I can still do this system where I do it from the bottom, I suppose. Okay, I kind of get you. Fuck, it's gonna be annoying, isn't it? Think that's fine? Nope. Nope, not fine at all. Oh wait, do I just build it down? Oh wait, that's really convenient. Never mind, sorry. Then I can hop it down instead and across. So I need some more hoppers. Many, many, many more hoppers. By many more, I think I need two. Nothing in here. Can do that. It still doesn't quite solve one problem though. I still need to be able to redstone into this for it to work, which I can do on top of these two. Hang on a sec. You're a water block on the other side, right? So I could do this. And then try and split the redstone signal. But how would I split the redstone signal in this line as well to be up and down? So I need it to go here, right? And I'd also need to get down to here. By this logic, to make it slightly more efficient, I should add more moss blocks next to the source block to give it a chance to spawn foliage on top. And shove it down with the pistons too. But it would cover the blocks below. It has to have an air block above it. And by above it, I think it needs to be like to the sky. Hold on. Let me just try something different for a sec. I think this actually might be, like, the most unhinged way of doing it. Well, with the exception of the smart way would have been just to go all the way through the bottom, all the way up. Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, I could have had this be the moss block and then have the dispenser going up into it and then build everything else below it. I should have done that. You're right. But I started with the rail setup. This is how I imagined it in my head, so I'm trying to end with the rail setup. Rather than doing what I tried to do before, where it was, you know, move it, the piston to the side, maybe I can have the piston on the top instead. No, I can't have the piston on the top, though. Fucking system sucks. Fuck it. I'll build it well, not the way they did it, but, like, closer to the way they did it. You're moss. You're not moss. You're a dispenser. You guys can be hoppers. You can be a hopper. You can be a hopper. Because now the bucket of water will just wash across now and clean the entire thing up. I probably should build that into the wall as well. Yeah, I should build that into the wall. Like so. They'll pick up the moss. No, I can't redstone to it, right? That's the problem. Because if I redstone to it, it'll wash away the redstone. Yeah, I knew the hopper... Well, the hopper will block the water flow to a point, but it is coming out of 3 different sources. Can I have a Control-Z button? I just want to go back to the system, which was, like... Wait. Fairly inefficient. Not totally inefficient. AK doesn't work. Oops. This game needs fans. As in, like, not actually, you know, celebratory, cheer them on fans, but like something just to blow a block. Also, while I'm here, let me just quickly check. Have you got junk in you? No. Okay, perfect. Right, how much bone meal did I have in the system? 28. So somehow... Oh, no, wait, I'm holding some bone meal. And I used one. So, hang on a minute. This might actually not even be profiting. I'll wait for it all to go into the system. We'll do an actual test to see if this is actually going positive. $30 is going to go into the system because it's just an easier number. And we'll watch the system together. So the only thing like I was trying to solve before is the fact that the block gets stuck here occasionally from breaking this topmost block. I want it to not do that. Like, I'd like it to flow into the system because it is compostable. And it makes it very slightly inefficient because of that. I've got all these juicy resources that are just getting stuck on the side. Wait, what if I put just a block on top of the dispenser? Would that fix the problems I'm having? Hold on. Will that not work? Because it can't go into that block anymore. It's not stopping the redstone, I think, now. Right? Are we good? Have I fixed the problem by just putting one block there? It bounced on... What if I put 2 blocks there, though? And what if I also put a torch to stop something spawning on top of this? Torch from the water side. The problem with that, though, is that for this system to work, it will only convert stone blocks that are open to the air. If I put it on that side, those stone blocks at the bottom won't be open to the air. So I'm trying to use this line, because you might see there's like a horizontal line right now, but there's no piston there, so the moss blocks there won't ever get converted. Or like, sorry, they won't ever get broken. So... the fuck do you think... The fuck do you think you're doing? I was worried Franklin's couldn't pathfind up there. This arsehole could. Right, let me... Oops. let me make sure this is lit up, because I'm slowly creating a monster spawner. Yeah, that's why the farms do it from below, which is like... I said from the outset, because when I tried to build this originally, I was like, oh, it'd be really good to use the minecart for like all the ticking stuff. So rather than just one-for-one copying something on the internet, which I did see where it did from the bottom, where they use like a dropper elevator to get to here and all the weird redstone below it, which appropriately I have room for down here. I decided to try and do it the way that I was doing it, which was with the bloody minecart running around the circuit to trigger the things in order. Which is working, but the problem with that is that it makes a bit of a mess at the top. Because I can't cover these stone blocks. But you're right, it's way more sensible to do this from the bottom, but then I don't need the minecart anymore. And the minecart's kind of the adorable part. Okay, how much should I get for my 30 bone meal? 33. So, it's a 10% profit every cycle. I'll just double check it. You know, we'll put 33 in and see if we get 36 out now. I also saw from others' designs, a lot of people don't use droppers of dispensers. I think that it's actually for the water. It's dispensers, right? They use fence gates instead with water blocks behind them. And then the final problem, if you want to know like true final problems, is I think you can actually make this go faster. I'm currently limited by how fast the minecart can go around the circuit. Which, to be fair, I can make it go faster around the circuit than I am right now. But other circuits would be, or other forms would be based on this pulsing. That would be the limitation. But I'm not a million miles away from that, to be fair. The only familiar with Ether's design, he doesn't use water. How do you break the blocks then? Pistons and slime blocks. Okay. I'm moving back and forth. Okay, I think I've seen something like this. I felt like it was... I think this is the bit where I was talking about. There's this line where I think... There's some things I don't like using in it. I think that piston moving back and forth, and doesn't it do something like resetting the tick rate? I can't remember. There was a design I saw of this which wasn't for mods, to be fair. It was for this stuff, the kelp. Where it basically glitched the sand block backwards and forwards, and eventually eventually it would, like, create infinite amounts of kelp just by, like, making a block go backwards and forwards, and it would reset the tick rate so kelp would grow every single tick. That was basically the premise of it. Anyway, my system, I think it's stopped now. So we should have 36 bone meal. We have 37, so it's around 10%. I also believe I've got something living under my base. It's fine. My fault. Should have lit this up. But yeah, anyway, I could do that. It would be way more, like, efficient block-wise. Like, it'd be way smaller. But it just looks fucking stupid because it's not like... everything here right now is working like the way that Minecraft intended it. It's not like glitching out some like obscure mechanic, I believe. So I'm trying to avoid doing that type of thing. To be fair, I can do better. I say I can do better. There are guides which do this better, even in like this current like vague guys. They don't use the minecart, to be fair, but like if you just do it all from the bottom and then like drop it, elevate the bone meal back to the top again, it's way more compact. But I kind of like this stupidity now at this point, so I might try and keep it. That being said, I do need to find a way now to get... I say I need to find a way. I need to get the bone meal to come back to the top now, rather than me just running down and picking it up. But it is going positive on bone meal. I feel like it's not a great exchange rate, right? It's only going 10% positive-ish. I don't think where the other inefficiency is here. I guess I don't know for certain. I've not really checked it yet, whether or not I'm bone mealing too quick, maybe. But I feel like that can't be the issue, right? Because surely I'm slower than this thing ticking on a cycle. And actually, I say it's, you know, it's only 10%. 10% over like a 60-second period or something. I don't know how long we waited, like 2 minutes max. It's not bad. Maybe that's just the limit. I say the limit. I don't know. Because I'm not losing any of the blocks any other place. I really need to go get bending on my boots. Yeah, I just don't feel like... I don't know. I don't know. It feels like it's okay, the system. If I fully automate it, then I can just leave it and ignore it, right? And it's going to give me 10% per cycle. So eventually this machine would fill up with bone meal. I just siphon off the 10% of what's there. Actually, I think this is too slow for me right now. Maybe it is inefficient because of this. I feel like this should tick faster. But I might break the entire machine. Because I'm not getting all the moss blocks per cycle before the bone meal thing comes back round again. But the reason I'm using this setup on here, which I nabbed off someone else, is that my system kept producing cobblestone. I think if you go too quickly, you make cobblestone instead, which then breaks the system as well. But yeah, it does like one... I'm going to call it a thrust. It does one thrust per cycle. Ish. One or two. Actually depends. It's close enough to two. So 2 per cycle. If I could double that rate, everything would be reset to stone each cycle. There's a bit of me which is like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, but it's just, if I can make it like slightly better, then obviously like it makes it a lot more better. Like if I'm getting 50% returns there suddenly. So we're expecting about 41 here, right? Okay, it's actually out now, but I'll let it go through the last bit of moss. Fairness. Got to 46. I don't know. I don't know what the fair test is of this. Like, if I actually just, like, fully gum up the system with bone meal, I'm actually going to start producing, like, 100 excess or something. Because that might actually be fine. And then the other thing is I need to, like, figure out what I'm going to do in the machine on the other side as well. I guess I can build a prototype. But I might have the same issue I just had before. Hang on a sec. I need a... dispensers need a bow and arrow, right? Just gonna get all this junk out of my inventory. You remember completely wrong. Their farm used water in all four corners and hop a minecart underneath for collection. Okay. I don't know. Honestly, it might just be fine what I'm doing. I might be, like, worrying over nothing. I should just stop, like, contemplating now and just connect the system back up to itself again so it will run infinitely. Do you have any spare wood? Have I used all my wood? Okay, it's in here. Create another dump chest. Don't worry, we'll sort this out eventually. And you really shouldn't be here, but... Okay, feel happy now. My inventory's nice and clean. You know what? Let's go back to this next time, and I might actually do something between parts. I need to think about this a little bit, how I want to do this. I think I might actually have to use comparators. Which is something in Minecraft I just, like... I'm super not comfortable using comparators, but I think I need to check, like, the item state of, like, the chest or something for me to know what... Because I can't... I need to siphon off some of the bone meal, right? At some point in the system. I have to take the bone meal out of the system. Otherwise, I'm just endlessly cycling it backwards and forwards and just, you know, doing nothing. I'm basically making one of those machines where you push the switch, the box opens, a little arm comes out and it turns the switch off and it goes back into the box again. That's basically what I've built here if I just, like, connect this back to the top again. So I need it to take a certain amount of, like, resources from this chest. And I guess currently we'll say, like, you know, 10% of the stuff from that chest. And that can go out into another system. The other 90, though, that needs to do this and come back up into here again. For this to actually work. And I need to, like, think that through. I actually don't know what the answer to that is just yet. How I would do this. I guess... Uh, what I could do, and this would take so long for it to happen, I could have a comparator check this chest. And when this chest gets full, then it will, like, let a hopper turn on to hopper out of this chest. But then, actually, how would I hopper out the other side? No, I'd have two separate hoppers, right? And one of the hoppers would turn on. And when that hopper's on, it will pull it out like this way, and the other hopper's always on, and it comes back into the system and loops back to the top again. I guess that's the way I would have to do it, and wait for the system just to saturate here. And then we just take the excess out of this chest and move it on. But I feel like that would take so long for it to actually ever come to fruition. I might be wrong, but I don't know. I love this machine because it looks so fucking stupid. It's kind of like exactly what I want, but I might have to do it the other way just because I think their systems are smarter than mine. But I don't know. Maybe I'll try and like brute force something. I can't think if I'm trying to wait for this to get saturated, then it's not even just that I have to wait to get saturated. It's also like I'd have to wait for like the system up here to get saturated as well. And if I'm doing like 10% of the cycle, it's going to take some time. But maybe it's not too bad. Maybe that's fine. Maybe it'd be like, you know, turn it on for 30 minutes, it will saturate the system, and then everything excess, you know, will actually start pumping into the other machines. But yeah, for this one, as I said, I just want to get it. I don't know if I'm going to get this to work. It might not work. I remember doing this for nothing. I basically want this to end up being like, I want it to be dispenser with bonemeal in it, then piston, then observer. Well, I might not be able to do that in a line, because I guess you can't, because I had the same issue before, have a piston on top of a dispenser and make the dispenser dispense and the hopper, sorry, the piston. So, I might have to create like a 1x1 and do it on the off axis, like a tube basically. But that tube might be faster than my entire setup, so I guess I'll do a little test or something. Okay, a little sciencey corner. But nonetheless, like, we've made a machine that produces kelp, which produces resources for burning. I've produced a system which can produce bonemeal, which will help me produce kelp to, you know, to turn it into fuel. I just need to, like, gel it together. And actually, I don't know. Honestly, the quickest thing might have been, and the most sensible thing, is just to duplicate this setup. So maybe I just want to make another one of these, like, here. Because maybe that is just enough resources at that point to keep this fueling. Then again, I've left this the entire episode so far going. I suppose I, like, cycled it back into the machine again. It just doesn't feel very quick, right? Like, this feels super slow. I guess I could turn up my tick rate in the Minecraft as well. I guess that is the other solution to this, but I kind of want to try and keep it within, like, the confines of the normal game as well, these machines. But I don't know. Maybe it's just not reasonable. Unless you do, like, some weird glitchy shit. I don't know. Alright, let's go on an adventure. I've had enough machines for today. Let me go in my hole. I don't know if I'm slowly becoming dwarven or something, you know, with the beard and all, but let's just go in the hole. Let's see what's in the hole. Do more exploring. Should also get the mending book for my boots, because otherwise I'm going to break my booties. Actually, I do need some enchantments still. I really should shovel the clay as well, but I can't be bothered. I simply cannot be bothered right now. Prepare for Minecraft episode 100 when I've still got like half the wall built. Not even half the wall. It's going to be in the same state. Alright, you get back here. But I've basically spent 2 episodes now trying to solve something which just mitigates me doing this. He pistons from above as well. I knew it was the answer. I just didn't. I don't have the redstone knowledge to figure it out. Is the thing. Oh yeah, fucking bending. And actually, I hate to say this as well, but I could probably do with just making a machine for this as well. So I don't have to like run over here and smack all these down. Okay. I need the sticks really badly. I might just expand this again. Not quite cutting it right now with this amount of bamboo. Drop the sticks off it here. I'm pretty far off the mending book, I think. Another mending... actually, I'm not that far off the mending book. Far enough that way that won't work. I'll try and do a little bit of a jaunt in the underground before I repair my boots. I mean, if I lose my boots, so be it. It'd be a bit annoying, though. Bit of a waste. I've somehow lost my crafting table for my inv. Yeah, I know the bamboo farm. Honestly, I should just do it. I'm just fully machined right now. I'm just fully saturated mentally. But yeah, I literally can just do the same thing I did for the sugarcane farm. Actually, show interest. How well's this doing right now? This garbage sugarcane farm. Because I've just left this running. Yeah, I've literally got 55 sugarcane in this machine. They found very rarely in the chunk, so I guess that's part of the reason why it's not doing anything. Alright, where's my hole? I need to recharge. The other thing I can't help but notice as well, like, consider, I don't know if that bonemeal farm's actually producing more than just grinding a skeleton spawner. I do actually know where a skeleton spawner is, so I could have literally just done a skeleton farm. I could just put some bamboo with the sugarcane. True, but my setup's not very good right now, so I'd probably tear the sugarcane farm apart as well to make it better. So I should probably light this place up a bit. Yeah, otherwise I get arseholes like this guy spawning and chasing me around the map. Okay, do I remember how to get to this other part? Like, over here, right? Right? It's here, right? Down here. Ow. Not gonna help my boots. So we've explored this way where there's like, you know, 8 million spawners and stuff. In fact, I think it was zombies. There was like zombie spider and skeleton, right? So I've got literally all the spawners over there for when I want to do some sort of mob-based farming. But we didn't really look at what's this way. I do appreciate, if you caught my stream, I did actually run into this hole when I was crashing out. I was just like, oh, what's in this hole? And I just ran around in circles in the dark and then perished. But let's light it up and see where this goes to. Yeah, this cave is literally, in case you're wondering why there are a few torches, it's me where I crashed out. I just ran around here in the darkness chasing it, getting every mob to chase me. And then I just accepted my L. Kind of similar to what I'm doing right now. Except this time I'm not planning to die. Oh, nice 1-2 there. Are you two fight? How did you miss that zombie? Alright. This is grossly inefficient. Let's just murder this guy. Okay, one question is, where is this creeper gone? So I was also counting a creeper, I thought. Where have you come from? Come on. Ow. So, hello, creeper stood on the diamonds. So there are some diamonds there. So I was about to say, I'm kind of not seeing any resources. Three diamonds. Thank you, looting, or whatever it's called. Much appreciated. Do I even need the resources? I kind of just want to find, like, weird structures underground. Maybe. Possibly. Honestly, I'm just decompressing, actually, is the true answer. This might be the end of this hole. Okay, it's a dead end. Cool. Leave me alone. Or is it a dead end? Or is there a little sneaky path up this way? There is a sneaky path. Please. Ow. Alright, I'll kill you. See? Feel better now? Could have just left me get these insane amount of diamonds. But no, I had to do a little murder. Thanks to you. Okay, pretty good for diamonds again. It's gonna go all the way back to the top, isn't it? Hello. Is this a spawner, do we think? Just because anytime I see two zombies together in a cave, I'm like, is it a spawner? Even though I think zombies go in groups now, right? Okay. Ow. What are we doing? Let's go back into the big impressive cave rather than what I'm doing right now, which is going to like some small nook. So this path basically terminates. Excuse me, how have you spawned here? That doesn't make any sense. Say, what the fuck was that? Oh, there's a witch over there. Don't have any milk on me, so she could kill me. Probably not, but... Nice try, buddy. Alright, I'll see what's on this side, then. Otherwise, I think it's just that very, very interesting mine shaft. Is the only thing of interest over here. Yeah, okay, let's go back to where I was before. Again, kind of notice I just found a little crack and just went into it again. I think this is safe. Oh, it is. I'm actually shocked. I was convinced I was going to cave in. I won't say no to a bit of lapis. Alright, let's get out of this small hole. Also, I won't say no to the gold. I'm actually lacking a bit of gold back at home. I guess I should look the other way. Alright, let's run around in a circle, putting torches down. Ow. Ow. It's a really impressive cave, though. Say impressive cave, like, just bearing in mind everything is well down here, the mine shaft part as well. Massive. How did you find the gap between the zombie and you know, me, I guess. Hit me. Okay, is this just a dead end? There or thereabouts. Okay, I think it... Oh, no, it's not. Hello. Another diamond. Suspicious drop down into hell. Alright, let's take the suspicious drop down into hell, I suppose. Ow. Is this gonna be... Oh my god, it's literally just like a 1x1 block of lava, isn't it? God damn it. Oh, nearly fell into it. Well, I need uppies. I thought it'd be at least a cavern down here. Okay. So that way is not good. In fact, let's just, for future reference, never go this way ever again. Ow. And this just ends as well. Well, I say it just ends. Hang on a sec. Is this going to end in a weird little nook into the middle of nowhere? We're going somewhere here. Okay. Ow. Honestly, this should light up the cave. Okay, hang on a minute. A huge cave has opened up again. Will I ever be able to find my way back here again? Never. Okay, huge cave. Come on. What is this? I mean, it's like, I don't know. It looks cool and all, but... I was expecting a massive cavern, but it's just like a little tiny nook in the earth. Alright, fortunately, impossible to find. Also, don't need to ever come back here again. You know what? There you go. Just so I never go back that way again. So is there really nothing over here? I mean, I can go up, I guess, but I don't really care for that. I'm just trying to get a light up this wall as well in case there's any goodies over here. I don't care about redstone that much. I do kind of care about that diamond right ahead of me. I guess I'll build up to get that. Where's this? Oh, it's above me. Okay. I'll go continue in the direction of my colossal cave with the mine shaft in it and see if there's anything else beyond the mine shaft. So there's nothing really interesting this way. At least without, like, significant amounts of spelunking. But I can't remember if there's anything, like, in the corners. Like, we lit this up, right? But did we really explore it? That's just a dead end. A big hole here. Do we think that's just a big hole of lava? Hang on a minute. Maybe there's something down here. I see a continuation. Should light this up as well. Excuse me. I just saved you from the lava caverns, and this is how you repay me. Doing a 360 no-scope shot into me. Scumbag. Come on. Thought I was expecting him literally digging by lava pits, but... I've just saved these two zombies and skeletons, and that's how they repay me. Alright, so it is basically just a big lava cave. Oh, hang on a minute. Maybe I can go this way as well. Alright. Never mind. You can keep that gold. I don't really know what I'm looking for, by the way. You may have noticed I'm just like decompressing in the caves. I'm grabbing the occasional diamonds, but I'm not like strapped for resources right now. Even iron at this point, I'm not that strapped for. I mean, I guess we could manually find a stronghold or something, or an ancient city, whatever it's called. By the way, that's gonna shit scare me if I ever find one, because I've never been in one before and I don't like the warden. He spooks me. I may have just happened upon this amazing cave. And it just isn't connected to anything else, sadly. So yeah, I don't think there's anything else down here. That is just a recipe for his death. Hold on a sec. Let me not go into a one-by-one hole of water. I can't think of too many, like, worse ways to die. getting in a small hole that's filling with water, getting stuck. Let's check on the higher levels. You know what? While I'm here, I'll grab all of you weird things. And that's the skeleton spawn. So I literally could have just come down here and grinded skeletons for bone meal, but I guess the issue, as I said before, was I'd have to bring all this back to the surface again, which would have been really, really awkward. So I don't necessarily mind what I was doing, but I think that would have been easier. And how do I get back to that other layer? There's like a central plaza up here or something. Alright, not this way, clearly. I thought I could get back to the surface. Like, not the surface, but you know what I mean. I thought I could get all the way up there. I guess I'll just use my water elevator. Can you not? Alright, let me use the water elevator. Because I can't remember if I checked if there was anything beyond this pathway. If not, then this cave is fantastic. We'll, I guess, use it for spawner type shenanigans later, maybe. But it's kind of explored. Oh, slimes. Perfect. I did say this could be like an insane place to spawn slimes, and I do need some slime balls. Zombie, leave these... They're my slime balls. Can't have them. Alright, let me just dump some of this stuff off. We don't need broken bows. So there's a massive waterfall here. Does that go up into anything? Not sure. I don't know if we went this way either. But I really like this cave. Like, it's so cool. It's like a double mine shaft type thing. And it's super open. It's a spider spawner over there, and I think there's a zombie back there. Okay, yeah, maybe there's nothing else to do down this cave. I guess I'll go up the waterfall and see. I'm fairly certain I checked this way and it just dead ends. Alright, so what's up the waterfall? Probably certain death. I don't know if this is a good idea. I have some feelings of how good an idea this is. Okay, I can't get to another cave, though. Oh my god, oh my god, it goes to the surface! So that mine shaft is basically accessible by the surface. That's insane. Hang on, I'm trying to get to the top now and see if we can actually see any parts of it. I probably can't, right? Just. And that's so cool. You know what, like, top 10 coolest caves in Minecraft. Has to be this one. Like, it's just a huge, massive gash with a mine shaft at the bottom of it. Okay. I think I've decompressed now. How long have I got left? An hour and a bit. Some pretty epic caves out there. I guess. I mean, honestly, it's got what? It's got turtles above it. It had the 3 spawners. I mean, I guess one of it was cave spiders. It wasn't spiders, but cave spiders, zombies, skeleton spawner. There's an amethyst geode in there as well somewhere. Which I guess should have grabbed some amethyst while I was down there. Obviously, I had the mine shaft loot. I guess it doesn't have, like, the ancient city stuff. I'm sure there's, like, a really cool one, like, the ancient city. And there's also those, they're called trial chambers. I've never really interacted with them before, either. We could have had something like that down there, which would have made it a bit more interesting. But yeah, if I was... I'm not a million miles away from the factory, you know. I was going to say, if we did the skeleton spawner thing, I'd have to, like, pipe all the stuff back in. Can I please do a swim properly? Never mind. I'd have to, like, pipe all the stuff back up here, but it would be in a different chunk, so I think it wouldn't have worked very well. Actually, speaking of which, I'm kind of intrigued to see if this has still been running while I've been gone, because I just left it with bone meal in it. I assume it's, like, it stopped, but now it's, like, carrying on from where it left off. So maybe it's, like, not run through its bone meal yet. We'll see. They sleep the night as well. Okay, is this full of delicious bone meal? It has no bone meal in it whatsoever. Did I turn the machine on? Did I just wander off and leave it? I wandered off and left. Are you full of bone meal? Is someone full of bone meal? You're full of bone meal. Let me just turn this on again while I'm here. Also, let me just quickly use the bathroom. Sorry, I just desperately need to go, and then I'll finish off this machine, hopefully. So give me a second. Alright, YouTube, I'm back. Apologies. I think, actually... I think for now, let me just try and quickly hook this up to itself. I know, like, all it's going to do is enrich this for bone meal, but let's just get this chest full of bone meal. I think is the first port of action. So, how am I going to do this? There's a few ways I could do. I mean, actually, one of the ways I could do this is I could literally just remove one of the chests for now. And then, like, just take everything that comes from this compost and put it back into the system again. I don't think that will, like, quite balance up, if you know what I mean, but... like, just grab all the bone meal here, send it back up. Okay, hang on a sec. I need to empty my inventory. Also, I actually need to go back to home base because I think I would like a bit of soul sand. I'll probably do it with... I could do it with a dropper tower, I guess, but I'll do it with a water thing. It'll look cooler. And I need to do the stick stuff with this guy, because I'm very, very desperate now for my mending. Okay. God, I have to do all the sorting myself now because the bloody Franklins are all at the other base now. God damn it. Let me drop you two in here. Drop my excess lapis here. You in here. And the gunpowder should have gone in there. And I guess the slime ball should have gone in there. Alright, we're actually pretty good on resources now. I mean, we were anyway, to be fair, but like... I don't need to decompress underground anymore. We're actually just stacked for things. Alright, it's because I'm not in the same chunk. Let me... Do I just quickly try and set up a setup? Give me some of these. Is it time just to strip this out? It's like not doing that much anyway, and I don't need bone meal that much. Sorry, I do need bone meal. I don't need sugarcane that much. It's not bad because it's useful, but the setup's not even good anyway because anything that lands in this row is garbage. I'm going to tear it apart. Just don't break yourself to pick doing this. Ow, my ankles. Okay. Saves me on a bit of glass, because I'm lacking it. Finally, I want my juicy mud, which was never meant to be here to begin with. And I want you. And you. And I'll fill you all in with dirt. Assuming I've got some dirt in here. I do still have some dirt in this part of the homestead. Very nice. Got this corner back if I ever want to use it for whatever reason. Anything else I wanted to... What did I come back here for? I completely... Oh, I remember. I needed a soul sand. Like, why am I here? I'll take half for now. And any excess glass, I'll take it. Alright, there's a bit more glass. I kind of like this look on the distance as well. I know I'm going to encase it at some point, but I like this big, beefy machine, like, sticking out the top of it. the little cart going around the mail cart. Okay, so what was my grand plan here? So I guess my grand plan. I guess my grand plan is that I don't know if this will work. If I like gum up the machine up there, will this self-sustain off half? It shouldn't do, right, based on my maths. Well, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe we'll see if this works, and if it doesn't work, I'll come up with a better solution. But basically, I can just take the half the results out of this, half the resources out of this, and I can put it into a dropper, right? Fuck, there's a chest going into the system. Fuck, I've got into the system. Help me, I'm trapped. There you go. Wait, I still need to get that chest. Wait, where's the chest gone? I'm sure a chest just fell into the machine. Are you holding onto a chest cart? No, where's that? Wait, I already picked it up, I think. I only had one before, right? Okay, never mind. We're good. So, I need to glass this. And this. I don't need that one, but so I'm going to need that, I think, at some point. I actually don't need this either anymore. I can save a hopper. Then I'm going to probably pipe this up here. Like so. And like so. The water is going to go up here. Then I need a small gap for it to go down. I think that's an okay flow as well, right? I'm not sure the game will get upset with me for this. We'll check. I'll leave it open at the top for now. Ironically, I think I need some kelp as well. Grab a kelp. Did I just throw the torch? Oh, okay. Did I just throw it to the hoppers? Okay. I need uppies. So basically I'm going to pipe into here. And I think... Be something like that. Not perfect, but... Come on. Okay, never mind, I got more grass. Then that. And this. And this. And this. I guess I can also do this with buckets of water. Maybe that's smarter than kelp. Because actually, can the kelp even grow on glass? I'd also need a bit of bone meal. Got some. And then I need a hopper going into here. Into here. Into here. Why wouldn't you let me put a hopper on the side? There you go. And then I need some going out that way. Like 2 more going out that way. Perfect. And finally I need to get this one and do that. So that's going to take half, I think. Again, it depends exactly how this splits at the top, but assuming like it's 50-50, then this will be fine. And if it's not, actually, it'd be better if it's not, because this is the one that should take the resources first. So as long as more of the stuff's going into this composter, it might saturate the circuit this way. Honestly, this might actually just work, which would be really good if it just works. Also, I just realized this has to be soul sand, right? Wait, does bonemeal float? Hang on a sec. Let me just test if this works without the soul sand. It might work without it. Alright, how do I get in the pipes? Like, is that enough flow for it to go in? Hang on a sec, waited. Okay, so strictly speaking, it does work, but it probably would be better if I use soul sand at the bottom. Alright, hang on a sec. I should have thought that through a little bit more. That's a bubble column, right? So all I need to do now is get some sort of, like, redstone ticking thing here, right? Just for a second, let me just put a lever on it and just check this does work. Or a button. A button would also work. Okay, I can't be at the top to check this, but I'm going to assume there's a bone meal in the chest now. Holy shit, it's working. Now, all I need to do is keep breaking my ankles until I lose my booties. Now, all I need to do now is create a ticking setup onto this. Which I could, and this is super lazy. I could just grab the pulse that's coming from here. Surely there's like a smarter, smaller setup for a little pulse circuit. Actually, hang on a sec. Redstone. Redstone. Pulse. Clock thing. What's the simplest one I can do? That doesn't glitch the game out. Basically, the one I did is the simplest one you can do. Okay. I'll do it. Actually, let me have it go from the inside. Just to try and hide the gubbins a little bit. I need some repeaters. Okay, one repeater. Is that it? Yeah. Alright, well, in that case... I'll make another one. I need stone, right, for repeaters. The stone. Okay. Wait, do I still have that button on me? I do. So I need to introduce a pulse into the circuit as well. I guess I can use a button. I know it's not the best way I could do it. I could put a comparator or something there to just let me just make it work. Okay, that's too quick. Too long, sorry. You dummy. Did I really? Oh my god. Why am I me? Why have I brought like one redstone out with me? What's that lever? Franklin, watch out. I'm doing something here. Franklin, get out the way. Oh, I need the tick thing slightly longer, right? Otherwise, it's hard to tick it once. That's fine. There you go. It is going to make this ticking noise until I, like, make the machine actually sensible. So I apologize for that right now. But I think, if I'm right, this should now, like, be self-contained. It might end because it's... As I said, it's splitting into half, I think, right now. Maybe, possibly. And as we said, we were only getting like a 10% increase on bone meal. Okay, so it is going to both. And it is going through the hoppers. So if we stand at the top, we should see bone meal shooting up the pipes. There he goes. Okay, one thing I'll just say immediately. I'm pretty certain I can slow this down even more. I've beansed it. How good is that? I can even make it slow with this if I have to. It only needs to tick every so often. Well, I said I'll fix the ticking. I can't really fix that, right? Let's spend to this ticking. And yeah, we are getting bone meal into here, which is fine, but is this thing going to stop? Effectively, is the problem. Yeah, it has 8 bone meal in right now. Old. It has 7 now. Still 7. Six. So it is losing bone meal, which we expected. But what if I flood the system? Will I still start losing some? Hang on a sec. We're gonna go. Well, we're gonna sleep, go away, and come back. Because maybe if it's doing 10%, I can't think how to explain it. If it's doing 10% gain, I don't know. Like, there's a throughput, right, is my thought. If you just absolutely flood the system, it doesn't matter if it's 10 or 50 or whatever percent it is, I'm going to flood the system and it won't be any more room for it, so it doesn't really matter anymore. So maybe we can get to the point of the system flooding, but I don't think I actually can do that. Also, I'm not sure I actually believe what I just said. Because we're kind of seeing it before, right? We went to 30 to 34 or something like that on the bone meal. And then we went up to like 37, then to like 41. Wait, that's 10%. I thought one of the things jumped more than 10%. Like, the more bone meal I had, the better. Anyway, I'm just going to chuck a shit ton of bone meal in and just see if it... So, I say a shit ton. We'll drop like a stack in or something. Where are my boats? There are all my boats. This'll work, right? This'll definitely work. I just need a little injection. Is it going? I can see the little mail cart going again. So if I just, let's say, inject 64 bone meal into the system. And by that I mean, like, you know, multiple stacks. How do we like this? How have you generated a platform, like a carpet bit there, by the way? How's that happen? Whatever. So it was on its last bit of bone meal. Which actually, now that I think about it, I think it'll never gain a bone meal, right? Because of the system, the way the system's set up, it won't ever do that. Because it only can pick up one at a time because of speed. Never mind. Oh no, not never mind. That is actually true still. Maybe he's picking up two. I don't know what's happening here. Like, I think it's picking up one at a time, and I'm just catching it as it goes through the hopper in the UI. Because, yeah, you're filling with bone meal. Such an iffy system now to like pull from. I don't know if I've done good here or done bad. I think I've done something at the very least. You can't deny me that. But my brain just can't like comprehend right now. I think this system eventually will run out, but like it's gonna take some time for it to do it. But there's like a part of me, as I said, that thinks that if I just chuck enough in the system, it won't run out. Even at 10%, it just won't run out. But I can't explain it. Actually, I guess the confirmation is just this empties, right? That's the confirmation, which it is empty. So it won't keep up with itself, because otherwise this wouldn't keep empty. Sorry, this wouldn't empty. No, that's not true. The hopper up here would empty. That's the actual deciding factor. So currently it's just bouncing, but there's stuff in the dropper still, so until the dropper empties. Okay, it is slowly losing it still. Yeah, okay. It's slowly losing bone meal. So the 50-50 split that I've got right now, and by 50-50 I said I don't know if it's quite 50-50 because the hopper that gets the stuff first is going into this one first. So it might be like a 60-40 split, but whatever it is, this split isn't good enough for me. So I probably do need to come up with a smarter method to like put a check in to say if this system has this amount of bone meal, then put it down this pipe. If I've got this amount then already, you can go in the excess pipe. But for now, if I just stick in like a significant amount of bone meal into the system, it should chuck a decent amount out as well for it. You know, I put in, what was it, like 3 and a bit stacks of bone meal, and I've got a stack out on this side. And it feels like this will run for some time. Yeah, I just can't think of where I put the comparator for this. Because I said, there's probably like a logic, and I don't know how long it would take for me to do this, but I could just saturate the entirety of this side with bone meal. And then when the entirety of this side fills up, then the other side starts to like proc. But the problem with that is, the bone meal would get stuck in the water pipe, right? Because I'd have to wait for this to fill up as well. Which feels like it's a really bad way of doing it. So, I don't know. Again, I think this is why it's better to do underneath and just use the hoppers directly, because then you can put a comparator on a hopper or something instead. Or, like, sorry, the hopper can go into, like, the comparator can go onto a dropper, which is in a dropper pipe or something like that, to take the items up, rather than doing this water setup. I do kind of like the water pipe setup, though. I think it's kind of cool. But I think this is slightly unhinged, what I've done. I think people that are good at, like, Minecraft contraptions would see this, and they would vomit. They'd have a bad time, let's put it that way. Yeah, it's, like, significantly dropping on the old bone meal now. But I kind of adore it. It's like a semi-self-created machine, with the exception of this pulse, because this was really finicky, the cobblestone or stone generator. I'm actually pretty proud of it. But it hasn't really solved my problem. Very typical Minecraft fashion. So I think, I don't know. I actually don't know. I guess the actual one true solution I've got now is the best thing I could do is split at this point. I could move this back a little bit, but split at this point and let one side get filled would be the dream. So, like, when this hopper is full, then another system turns on to, like, siphon the excess off. I think that's the way I'd have to do it. Or somehow make this machine slightly more efficient than my setup as it is right now could just stay as it is. Because I don't really care if this bit fills up. I mean, it does matter. It would be a bit wasted. It would like be wasting some resources, but it wouldn't be that important. As long as, you know, this was producing more than it was putting into it, but currently I'm not. I don't know how to make this more efficient than it is right now. Not saying there is no way of doing it, but... Alright, I think I'll have a think. Also, YouTube, you can let me know in the comments below, because I kind of want to keep this style now of system. So, if you could, like, think of a solution to this, in keeping with the style of the machine I'm doing right now, let me know in the comments below, and I'll try and, like, put it into action. But as I said, the only thing I can think of is you put up, like, a comparator here that waits for this hopper to fill. And then once this hopper is full, like, some other system triggers to, like, say, okay, you can pull from this system now. And then that's how I get the excess out. And again, I could move this pipe backwards or something. There's no reason this pipe has to stay here in the long run. I just put this here as like a short-term solution. And again, in the short-term solution, if I really just want to get as much bone meal as possible, I can come to this chest, grab it, and then put it into the whatchamacallit machine. And I could even get Franklins to do that, but if the Franklins did it, they'll just take everything. They won't be like selective like I need to be. I guess that the one final other thing I guess I could do, I could just put another one of these machines like on top. Ow. But I think that'd be a pretty unhinged. Let's remove the stairs as well while I'm here. We don't need it. Franklin, stop walking all over the machinery. I'm kind of intrigued to see what I'll get out of this, but yeah, I think I'll call this episode here, YouTube. If you enjoyed this, why not leave a like and subscribe? Everything helps me out. I'll see you next time, YouTube. Bye-bye.